Good morning. In the last lecture we started Schrodinger equation, time dependent form. We derive it at this equation. We derive this equation. This equation number, I don't remember, maybe 5. You may proceed with correct equation number. This equation number obtained from this equation. We started with equation 1. Psi is equal to, psi is the wave function associated with the particle in motion given by psi is equal to a to the power minus I omega into the bracket t minus h divided by v. This equation is generally used for the harmonic wave motion. The wave function psi is just similar to the displacement of a particle in motion, but it is not the displacement. It is not a physical quantity. It has no unit, no dimensions, and therefore the wave function may be complex in nature. To write the convenient form of equation for the wave function psi in terms of lambda and nu, we followed the procedure I have shown in the last lecture. Using those things studied in the last lecture, we arrived at equation number 5. The equation number 5 is the equation for the motion of a particle. This particle is unrestricted particle. This particle is free particle. Equation 5 is the equation for motion of unrestricted particle. In quantum mechanics, our concern is with the restricted particle, with the bound particle. For example, the electron, I told in the last lecture, electron is bound inside the atom because of the electrostatic force of attraction exerted by the nucleus on the electrons. And we are interested in the study of motion of restricted particles, motion of bound particles, not motion of unrestricted particle, not motion of free particle as represented by equation number 5. To get the Schrodinger equation to study the motion of bound particle, restricted particle, just like the electron, we considered the concept of relativistic motion and non-relativistic motion. Relativistic motion, where the velocity is comparable with the velocity of light, which is very, very large, about 3 lakh km per second. But we know motion of restricted particles, motion of bound particles cannot have velocities comparable with velocity of light, and therefore motion of restricted particles, actually in general in this universe, every motion is non-relativistic because it is not possible for any material body to have a velocity with comparable with the velocity of light. Any matter cannot have velocity which can be approaching the velocity of light, and therefore almost all motions are taken as the non-relativistic motions. The total energy of a particle performing a non-relativistic motion was found in the last lecture. We have taken total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. We put their equations, and after some manipulation we got the equation for total energy. And the equation we got in the last lecture for the total energy is this: E is equal to P square divided by 2m plus V. E, total energy of the particle performing non-relativistic motion, its kinetic energy, its potential energy. If this equation multiplied on both sides by the function psi, we may write this equation as E psi is equal to P square divided by 2m psi plus V psi. We wrote this equation in the last lecture, and we have taken this equation as the general form of the Schrodinger equation. Actually, it is the equation for the total energy of a particle performing non-relativistic motion. Let me call this as the general form of Schrodinger equation. We want to obtain time-dependent form of Schrodinger equation using this general form for total energy in quantum mechanics. Okay, so let us remember this as, I think we have taken this equation of 6 in the last lecture. Okay, then let me go back to equation 5 that we derived for the wave function of a particle in motion. Okay, let us differentiate equation 5 with respect to the time t, so that differentiation of phi with respect to time t will be differentiate equation phi on both sides with respect to time to get dou psi by dou t is equal to a into e to the power minus I divided by h cross into et minus px into differentiation of the exponent with respect to t. Okay, this will be minus I h cross et minus minus plus I px by h cross. Differentiation of second term will become 0. Differentiation of second term will, first term will be minus IE by h cross. What is this? This is psi, and therefore this equation may further be written as equation 5 differentiated with respect to time. Differentiation is this. In this differentiation, this term corresponding to psi. So for this term, let me put psi, and this differentiation of the exponent is written as minus IE by h cross. Equation number 7. Then let us differentiate equation 5 with respect to other variable x. To now dou psi by dou x is equal to a e to the power minus I by h cross into et minus dx into equation 5 to be differentiated with respect to x. Now into differentiation of the exponent. Now t is constant, so differentiation of first term with respect to x will become 0. Differentiation of second term in the exponent. Minus minus will become plus. It will be IPx by h cross. Differentiation of x with respect to x is 1, and what left is IP divided by h cross equation. So when equation 5 is differentiated with respect to x once, we get equation number 8. Let us differentiate equation 8 further with respect to x. To get dou 2 psi by dou x square is equal to IP by h cross into a e to the power minus I by h cross into et minus px into differentiation of the exponent again. That will be same. IP divided by h cross. And this is what? Dou 2 psi by dou x square a times this will be psi again. Let me write this psi as it is here. IP by h cross into IP by h cross into I square p square divided by h cross square, or let me put this further as minus p square divided by h cross square into psi dou 2 psi by dou x square. Equation number 9. So differentiating equation 5 with respect to t, we got equation 7. Differentiating equation 5 with respect to x 2 times, we got equation 9. Let us come back to equation 7. Modify equation 7. Let us see how to modify 7. Keep this p side to this side, transfer this minus I by h cross to this side. So, equation 7 after modification can be written as p psi is equal to minus h cross divided by I into dou psi divided by dou t, equation number 10. Keeping each side to this side, transferring minus I by h cross to this side, we will get equation 10, that is E psi is equal to minus h cross divided by I into dou psi by dou t. Similarly, let us modify equation 9. Let us keep this p square side to one side and transfer this minus 1 by h cross square to other side to get p square psi is equal to minus h cross square dou 2 psi divided by dou x square equation. Differentiating equation 5, the equation we wrote for the function of particle, unrestricted particle in motion. Differentiating this once with respect to time to get equation 7. Modifying 7 to get equation 10. Then differentiating 5 with respect to x 2 times to get equation 9, and modifying equation 9 we get equation 11. Come to equation 6. Here we have term E psi. Here we have term T square psi. For this E psi, we shall put this value from 10 for E psi. And for this T square psi, we shall put this value for this T square psi from equation 11. Putting the values of E psi and T square psi from equations 10 and 11 into equation 6. Equation 6 now can be written as for E psi, let me write this. For T square psi, let me put this. So let me put minus here, h cross square here, and do 2 psi by 2x square. Plus d psi. This will be for the minus from LHS is taken common. It is sent to RHS. This minus minus will become plus. This minus plus will become minus. And we have the equation h cross divided by I into dou psi by dou t is equal to h cross square divided by 2m into dou 2 psi by dou x square minus d psi, equation number 12. And equation 12 is known as time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. Equation 12 is known as time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. Here we have only one position variable x. Here the function psi is psi of xt. This wave function psi is taken as function of x coordinate and time. And therefore, this wave function is one dimensional wave function for the particle in motion. And therefore, equation 12 is one dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. One variable t, other variable x. Therefore, this psi is psi of xt, one dimensional wave function. That is the wave function associated with a particle performing motion in one dimension. And therefore, equation 12 is one dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation. As we derived here one dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation, we can also derive three dimensional time dependent form of Schrodinger equation, or three dimensional Schrodinger equation in time dependent form. Three dimensional Schrodinger equation in time dependent form can be obtained from equation 12. This psi of xt is replaced by psi of xyzt, and if we replace psi with psi of xyzt, equation 12 can be replaced by equation number 13. It is three-dimensional Schrodinger equation in time dependent form, and here psi is function of xyz, the position coordinates, t the time coordinate. In equation 12, the potential energy is function of x only, whereas in three dimensions in equation 13 this v is function of x, y, z, the three coordinates in three-dimensional coordinates. To solve the Schrodinger equation in either one dimension or two dimension, you should know value of the potential energy in one dimension or value of the potential energy in three dimension. Vx in one dimension, v of x, y, z in three dimensions. Once you know value of this potential energy in either one dimension or in three dimension, you can solve this Schrodinger equation to get the value of wave function psi for the bound particle, for the restricted particle. Potential energy of any particle in motion is decided by its position. It may be in one dimension or in three dimension. Once we obtain potential energy for this bound particle in motion, for this restricted particle in motion, we can put that potential energy into equation 12 or 13 depending on one dimension or three dimension. We can solve that equation for psi. Once equation for psi is obtained after solving 12 or 13 for one dimension or three dimension, other parameters, other visible quantities related with, associated with the bound particle in motion can be found very easily. The bracket in equation 13 can be further modified, and the three-dimensional Schrodinger time-dependent form of equation may also be written as three-dimensional Schrodinger equation in time-dependent form 13 can also be written this way: h cross by I dou psi by dou t is equal to h cross square by 2m del square psi minus d psi, equation 14, where this del square is equal to dou 2 by dou x square plus dou 2 by dou y square plus dou 2 by dou z square, where del is the Laplacian operator. It is a mathematical operator. Del is the Laplacian operator or the mathematical operator. Thus, we can have one-dimensional Schrodinger equation of time-dependent form as shown in equation 12. We can also have three-dimensional Schrodinger equation in time-dependent form either by equation 13 or by equation 14. So this is about Schrodinger equation in time dependent form. So I have derived each and every equation needed to understand time dependent form of Schrodinger equation in one dimension as well as in three dimensions. I give all the clarification needed for solving various equations. Hope you got it. Thank you.